Yeah, we call these games right before Christmas break trap games for a reason. And we've talked the last 3 or 4 days just about making sure that we're focused, prepared, high energy, not distracted about going home for the Christmas break. And it's every coach's um, nightmare, I mean, if you will, about trying to prepare your team for this game. And I certainly do not want to take anything away from UC Riverside. Nicole Powell, their coach, is a fantastic coach. I mean, she's got them playing really, really hard. And, she's got quite the pedigree, and then she's going to do some really great things there. And I'll tell you, they hung in there with us, and they made it ugly. We turned the ball over way too much. We had trouble getting in a rhythm and just trying to find some separation. But we did see some good things. I thought that we executed our press pretty well at times. I thought that late in the game, especially in the fourth quarter, we finally saw some execution of offense that we put some back-to-back possessions. But the turnovers, entirely too many. I mean, and that's a lack of focus. There's no doubt that's a lack of focus. Even the free throw line, we didn't get there very many times, which is a problem, but shooting 50%, even though we just shot 6, that's a lack of focus. So, there's a lot going on in this game. There's a lot of family here. There's just a lot of distractions, and all of those are excuses. But I'm just proud that these girls came out on top, that they found a way to win, and they kind of extended the lead. And now that they can go celebrate for 3 days with their families.
Who wants to start us off? Lauren in the back?
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Bailey and just her performance this entire season?
Yeah, Bailey's doing a fantastic job. She's transitioned to the college level really well. She's really explosive. Her athleticism is really explosive to me. I mean, she's got some really great, she can really change speed. That's what I'm trying to say. She can change speed really quick. She can accelerate. She can explode off the floor. Obviously, she can score. We're really, really trying to get her to become an elite defender, because we know she can, and she's going to be able to, and we see signs of that. I think that's probably the biggest adjustment from going from high school to college, is just having to defend kids that are as quick as you or stronger than you, those types of things, and just understanding that, that you've got to be on your toes at all times, because if you take one possession off or even a couple of seconds in a possession off, the ball can find you really easily. So she's learning all those things. She's so coachable. Even when she takes maybe a poor selected shot in my eyes, or does something on defense, I can get after her, and she kind of looks at me with a stern face, kind of like, because nobody wants to get criticized or whatever, but I always get a yes ma'am, or a you got it, or I understand, or whatever. So she's just such a great kid and such a competitor. And we've only seen glimpses of what she's going to do in the next 4 years. So really glad she's a Lady Raider.
And you guys only have one more matchup before Big 12 play begins. What's kind of something that you want to see from your team in that last game before conference play?
Yeah, continue to have some consistency. I mean, we just are really struggling with consistency. And it's not like we have really bad quarters. I mean, I think that happened last year for us, and that's when we were losing basketball games. But we're just not extending leads early and keeping them. I would like to be able to come in on Tuesday, and obviously we need to play at a fast pace just to really try to play your way back into shape after a couple of days off. But I just want to see great effort. I want to see better focus, and continuing to make defense a priority, which I thought today we defended fairly well. Obviously, they only scored 38 points, which is great. And I think it's the lowest output they've had this season, which was our goal. But I felt like they just missed a lot of open shots. It wasn't because of our defense at times. So we've got to continue to work on that, and that's what the goal is going to be on Tuesday.
And best record in the Big 12, how much confidence does that give you guys going into conference play?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just tells our kids, that they can see their name at the top of the Big 12 standings and be proud of that, and have some confidence in it. And they need to get used to seeing it there. It's been a long time since the Lady Raiders have even been there at this point in the season. So, we took care of business of what we needed to take care of, and I'm glad that we are where we are right now. But everybody knows when you start Big 12, it's 0-0, and here we go. But it's just great for our kids to be able to visualize that right now.
Come up front today.
The later you get in non-conference play, obviously you start shortening rotations, start figuring out which lineups work for you. Where are you in that process, right?
Yeah, I thought the last couple of games that you saw us do that a little bit more. In the first quarter and the second quarter, we tightened it up a little bit. Today, I got a little frustrated with our starters, and we didn't get the start we wanted. So we went with almost 5 new ones after that, and they got us going. Their intensity level was better defensively. So I was hoping that this game and the next game will be games that we can get a lot of minutes for some younger kids. I think Kyla Freeland needs to play. I think she needs to play and get some minutes and just be able to play through some mistakes. But our games just haven't been there yet, where they can really do that. And that's frustrating for me because I feel like they should have been. But we still know that like when we get to Big 12 play, every possession is really going to matter, and we're not going to be able to let kids play through mistakes very much. They're going to have to come out and produce quickly.
And you kind of talked about it, not the first time you guys have had great fourth and first quarters, but it's kind of those middle 2 quarters that give you trouble. Is there something about maybe getting a little too comfortable being at home this long, the way you guys kind of have?
It could be. I never know. You never know. I mean, I haven't really thought about that piece of it. I mean, I think that our kids have understood the game plan. I think that we're still a new team with new players, still trying to figure things out. But I think that we're starting to gel, and I think that consistency will come. I think it's great to know that if we're down, we can come back and win, which we've had a couple of games like that this year. And then I think it's great that we can finish out a game as well, that we can take a lead. And if it gets in jeopardy a little bit, that we can finish. So I'm pretty pleased with where we're at, and I think that we'll just continue to get better. But obviously, we know the competition's about to really step up in the Big 12.
And this was your 7th different starting lineup. Obviously, injuries have played a role in that. Do you have an idea of who you kind of want in there? Is that going to be a different change on Tuesday as what we see next Saturday?
I think it'll depend every game we play. I mean, it's about practice. It's about who's performing in practice and who's playing well, who's really confident. It's also about matchups. I know there's going to be some matchups in the Big 12 where we really need to start a 5-player so that we can match up with that physicality. It's really just about practice and game planning and, just who we think can give us the best start to the game. And then obviously, we care about who finishes it the most. Well, Bryn must be taking her sweet time.
Brendan, give me 1 second. Thanks, Coach. Just toss it right there in a bottle of water.
Thank you. I'll grab it.
All right.
Hi, y'all.
Once again,
I'm all in my.
has the microphone in the back of the room. Who wants to start us off? Nathan?
Not the first time you guys have had good first quarters and fourth quarters, kind of those middle 2 quarters. What was it today that kind of gave you guys trouble in the middle part of that game?
I think we lost a little bit of focus. Our effort was there. It's just we weren't really focusing on the little things that we needed to do. And I just think, Christmas break is right around the corner. And so that was probably something that really got to us. I think we all just kind of got together before the fourth quarter and really decided to just take care of business.
What was it in the fourth quarter? I mean, it was the best quarter you guys had in the entire game. Was it just kind of shots started falling, more fluidity?
I just think that focus came in, and when you're focused, you tend to hit more shots. I think that really helped, and I think our inside game got a lot stronger, which allowed some of our mid-range to three-point shots to fall a little bit better and just have more confidence in those shots.
You guys have used quite a few different lineups, and especially starting lineups, and now you come towards the end of non-conference play. Where do you think you guys are chemistry-wise with kind of everybody throwing out there the way you just trying to find some chemistry out there?
I think our chemistry is great, the fact that we're able to put all those lineups out there. I think the fact that we're able to mix it up makes us really hard to guard, really hard to scout. And so the fact that we kind of are just leaving everyone on their toes going into conference, I think is really an advantage for us. And I think that if we can just keep that chemistry and keep building on that as we go through conference, I think that could be something really great for us in the conference schedule.
I asked your mom the same thing, but you guys have a little bit over a week left until conference play. You guys now have the best record in the Big 12. What kind of confidence does that give you and your team going into conference play?
I think that's the first time Tech has been at the top of the conference in years. And so the fact that, they put the picture for our post-game talk of the rankings, and the fact that we got to see that, I think really spoke volumes, and the fact that we must be doing something right, and to just keep our heads down, keep working, and to keep building that confidence. Confidence is key when you get into Big 12 play. Anyone could win the conference this year, and so the fact that we're at the top right now, I think, is just something that we really need to build off of.
And one more game before that hits, what's something that you and your team need to kind of work on, fix before in that final game before you hit Big 12?
Right now, I think our thing is just taking care of the ball. We have some really great passers, and we have really great shooters, and the fact that we're turning the ball over so much is probably one of our biggest weaknesses. And it's not the fact that other people are turning us over, it's our own faults. We're doing unforced errors. If we can limit our own mistakes without the defense causing them, I think that could really change our entire game going into conference.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks, y'all. Have a Merry Christmas.